What if the most luxurious material inside a high-end fashion house did not come from an exotic creature, but from something as ordinary as the skin of a tilapia? It sounds unlikely, almost absurd, yet this is exactly what happens behind the closed doors of advanced manufacturing plants that specialize in transforming raw animal byproducts into high-value materials. When you think of luxury, you picture classic leather, rare hides, or meticulously crafted textiles. But few people imagine that a fish most commonly associated with low-cost cuisine can become a premium material used in shoes, wallets, handbags, and even couture accessories. This contrast between simplicity and sophistication is what makes the tilapia leather industry so fascinating, and it is the reason why so many designers quietly rely on it to elevate their collections without ever revealing the full story behind it. Inside these factories, every step is calculated, engineered, and controlled with an obsessive level of precision. The transformation does not depend on chance. It depends on chemistry, machinery, temperature regulation, and highly trained specialists who understand how to turn fragile fish skin into a durable, flexible, luxurious product. The moment the raw skin arrives at the plant, a long chain of processes begins, each designed to preserve integrity, enhance structure, and unlock hidden potential in a material that most people still underestimate. And as the machines start humming, as the first treatments touch the surface of the scales, something unexpected starts to happen. The simple becomes sophisticated. The ordinary becomes desirable. The overlooked becomes valuable, revealing an industrial world few consumers have ever imagined. Before we move deeper into this transformation, tell me in the comments if you already knew tilapia leather could reach luxury markets, because understanding this initial shock changes the way we see the entire process. While you are here, check if you are subscribed to the channel and leave your like, as this helps keep explorations like this alive. What you discover next might surprise you even more, and the process is only beginning to unfold as we continue forward into the heart of the factory. When the raw tilapia skin enters the factory, it looks nothing like a luxury material. It arrives soft, fragile, and still carrying the unmistakable scent of a fresh catch. Yet this unassuming starting point is exactly where the industrial transformation begins. Workers carefully sort each piece by size, thickness, and visual integrity, because even the smallest inconsistency can influence how the leather will behave later in the process. This early selection is not merely practical, it is strategic, ensuring that only skins capable of enduring the complex sequence ahead continue forward. In the world of high-value manufacturing, quality begins long before any machine is powered on. Once sorted, the skins move into the first stage of preparation, where they are washed and treated to remove natural residues. The cleaning process uses controlled water temperature, gentle mechanical motion, and specific agents that strip away impurities without damaging the delicate fibers beneath. This step is far more technical than it appears. Without a perfectly balanced cleaning stage, the later chemical treatments would fail to penetrate evenly, compromising durability and flexibility. Inside these large industrial drums, science quietly prepares the foundation upon which luxury craftsmanship will later depend. As the skins rotate inside the machines, their structure begins to stabilize. The natural oils are gradually lifted, the fishy odor fades, and the surface becomes more receptive to deeper transformation. Skilled technicians monitor every parameter, adjusting timing and composition as needed because different batches behave differently. This attention to detail, repeated hundreds of times each day, is what turns a perishable animal byproduct into a promising industrial material. Nothing here is rushed, and nothing is left to guesswork. Bit by bit, the raw skin sheds its origins and moves closer to its future form, and the factory prepares for the next critical stage where the transformation becomes even more pronounced, revealing how precision and engineering push this unexpected material toward true luxury potential. With the skins now cleaned and stabilized, the transformation moves into a stage that is both delicate and highly engineered, the removal and preparation of the scales. At this point, the material is still far from resembling leather, yet this is where the factory begins shaping the very qualities that will later define its premium character. Technicians handle each batch with care, guiding the skins through specialized machines designed to detach remaining scales without tearing the thin collagen layers underneath. This balance between force and finesse demonstrates why tilapia leather requires far more precision than traditional hides. The wrong angle or pressure can compromise the fibers, making the material unusable for luxury manufacturing. Once the scales are removed, the texture of the skin reveals its natural pattern, a unique arrangement of collagen that high-end designers value for its distinctive aesthetic. But the industrial team cannot rely on nature alone. They must refine the surface so that it absorbs later treatments uniformly. For this reason, the skins undergo controlled mechanical brushing, a process that lightly opens the pores and creates an even surface profile. Though almost imperceptible to the eye, this micro-adjustment is essential for achieving the flexibility and strength expected from a premium material. Without it, the skin would resist dyes, reject chemical penetration, and fail the durability standards required by luxury brands. The next stage of preparation involves balancing the moisture content, a surprisingly critical parameter. Too much moisture and the fibers swell, weakening under mechanical stress. Too little, and the skin becomes brittle, tearing under tension during tanning. Technicians use calibrated drying systems, airflow chambers, and constant measurement to ensure that every piece reaches the ideal internal consistency. This combination of mechanical fine-tuning and environmental control allows the skin to behave predictably during the chemical phase that follows. As the prepared skins leave this section of the plant, they now possess the structural readiness needed for deeper transformation. The raw material has been cleaned, refined, opened, balanced, and conditioned, setting the stage for the moment when chemistry takes control and pushes the evolution of the tilapia skin into an entirely new realm, where the real metamorphosis into luxury-grade leather begins to take shape. As the skins move into the chemical phase, the factory enters the most defining moment of the entire transformation. This is where science takes full control, guiding the material through reactions that will permanently alter its structure. The tanning stage is not just a chemical bath, it is a precisely regulated environment where pH levels, temperature, agitation speed, and timing determine whether the skin becomes strong enough to serve as a luxury material or collapses under its own fragility. Inside massive rotating drums, the skins absorb specialized tanning agents, designed to stabilize collagen fibers, locking them into a durable matrix that resists decay, moisture, and mechanical stress. Without this stabilization, the material would deteriorate quickly, but with it, the skin gains the foundational strength required for its future as high-end leather. The tanning solution penetrates each layer of the skin, reorganizing the internal structure so that the fibers lie in a tighter, more uniform arrangement. This internal restructuring is what allows tilapia leather to become surprisingly resistant compared to its soft and delicate origin. Yet none of this happens by accident. Technicians constantly monitor the chemical reaction, taking samples, checking absorption rates, and adjusting conditions to ensure that every piece responds consistently. Even a small deviation in pH or concentration can create stiffness, uneven color, or weak spots that luxury brands would instantly reject. For this reason, the chemical phase operates like a laboratory, scaled into an industrial environment, combining scientific precision with the rhythm of mass production. After the tanning agents do their work, the skins enter a neutralization stage, where excess chemicals are carefully removed to prevent later reactions that might disrupt texture or longevity. This step also prepares the material to receive additional treatments more evenly. The skins then pass through rehydration and conditioning baths that restore flexibility without undoing the structural reinforcement gained during tanning. It is a delicate equilibrium. The leather must be firm enough to hold shape, yet supple enough to adapt to intricate designs used in high-end accessories. As the skins leave this crucial chemical zone, they carry within them the permanent strength that defines their new identity. The raw biological softness has been replaced with engineered durability, making the once fragile material ready for mechanical refinement. Before we move deeper into this evolution, share in the comments. What surprised you most about this chemical transformation, as different perspectives help reveal how complex this process truly is and open space for new insights as the journey continues forward. Once the chemical stabilization is complete, the skins enter a stage where machinery begins shaping the tactile qualities that luxury manufacturers expect. At this point, the material has strength, but it still lacks the softness and controlled flexibility that define premium leather. The mechanical phase bridges this gap. Large rollers apply calibrated pressure, stretching the fibers gently so they align in a more uniform direction. This mechanical stretching enhances elasticity without weakening the structure, giving the leather the ability to bend and fold smoothly during cutting and assembly. The operation requires precise timing and pressure control because excessive force could distort the natural pattern of the tilapia skin, while insufficient force would leave the material rigid and difficult to work with. After the stretching step, the skins move to specialized softening drums where rotational motion and controlled friction gradually loosen the internal fiber network. This process, though powered by machines, is surprisingly delicate. The technicians rely on sound, movement, and texture feedback to decide when each batch has reached the ideal softness. Too much softening would reduce durability, while too little would make the material unsuitable for fine goods like wallets, belts, and footwear. What may appear to be a simple tumble is, in reality, an engineered sequence designed to balance firmness and flexibility with high precision. Following softening, the leather passes through thickness regulators which shave or compress the material into uniform dimensions. Tilapia skin is naturally thin, but luxury brands demand exact measurements to ensure smooth integration into their designs. Any irregularity, even a fraction of a millimeter, could cause tension, rippling, or uneven stitching. By refining thickness, the factory ensures that every piece behaves consistently during production. This also allows designers to combine multiple skins without visible transitions, a key requirement when producing larger items. Finally, surface texturing machines enhance the natural scale pattern or smooth it, depending on the intended aesthetic. These machines apply subtle pressure variations that either highlight the unique tilapia grain or tone it down for a more uniform look. This controlled manipulation of surface detail is part of what elevates the material from a simple biological byproduct to a premium input suitable for luxury markets. As the mechanical phase concludes, the skins are now structured, softened, and dimensionally prepared, ready to receive color, treatments, and finishing touches that will further define their identity as high-value materials. With the mechanical refinement complete, the skins move into one of the most visually transformative stages of the entire process: coloration and specialized treatments. This is where the material stops looking like a simple byproduct and begins taking on the unmistakable appearance of luxury leather. The first step involves rehydrating the skins to ensure they absorb pigments evenly. Technicians carefully balance moisture levels because too much water dilutes the dyes, while too little prevents penetration, resulting in patchy or uneven tones. Once the leather reaches the ideal condition, it enters large rotating drums filled with dye formulations tailored to the specific characteristics of tilapia skin. Tilapia leather absorbs color differently from traditional hides, making the expertise of the dye technicians crucial. They must calculate concentration, temperature, and rotation speed to achieve a uniform result. Even small variations can cause gradients or shadowing that luxury brands immediately reject. Throughout the process, samples are removed and inspected under controlled lighting to ensure consistency. This testing phase is vital because many designers request custom shades, from muted earth tones to high-impact metallics, each requiring precise chemical interaction with the fibers. After achieving the desired color, the skins undergo fixation treatments to lock pigments into place. These treatments enhance resistance to fading, moisture, and abrasion, ensuring that the final material withstands years of use. Next, the leather moves to conditioning baths containing oils and softening agents that enrich the tactile feel. These conditioning formulas differ based on the final application. A piece destined for a structured luxury handbag requires a firmer, more resilient feel, while leather intended for fashion accessories or small goods may demand extra softness and pliability. Following conditioning, the skins are gently dried in temperature-controlled chambers that maintain fiber integrity. Overheating would compromise flexibility, while insufficient drying would trap moisture and create long-term instability. The controlled drying phase also influences the final color tone, subtly deepening the hue as water evaporates and the pigments fully bond with the fibers. Once dried, the skins receive optional surface treatments such as gloss, matte, satin, or pearl finishes. These coatings elevate the leather's visual appeal and provide additional protection, allowing the material to perform reliably in a variety of environments. By the end of this stage, the tilapia leather has acquired not only its color, but also its personality, transforming from a raw biological material into a refined component ready for intricate craftsmanship. After coloration and conditioning, the skins enter the final stages of craftsmanship, where human expertise becomes just as important as industrial precision. This is the part of the process where small manual interventions define the visual identity, feel, and overall value of the tilapia leather. Skilled artisans inspect each piece individually, searching for subtle irregularities that machines cannot detect. They evaluate texture, grain definition, edge stability, and uniformity of tone. Any deviation, even a minor one, may require hand correcting with micro tools, smoothing instruments, or selective polishing. This attention to detail is what connects the material to the luxury world, where perfection is not optional but expected. One of the most delicate manual steps involves trimming the edges. Tilapia skin is naturally thin, and its perimeter can sometimes warp slightly during earlier stages. Artisans use precise blades to remove uneven strands, ensuring that each piece is symmetrical and clean. This step, though subtle, dramatically influences how the leather behaves during cutting, stitching, or molding in later manufacturing. A poorly trimmed edge can cause misalignment, stress points, or tearing when integrated into a finished product. The meticulous care given to these edges transforms potential weaknesses into refined functional beauty. Another essential task is surface refinement. Depending on the intended application, artisans may enhance the natural scale pattern or soften it for a smoother, more contemporary aesthetic. They use controlled friction techniques, buffing tools, and finishing cloths to achieve the desired look. Some designers request a glossy sheen that reflects light and elevates the material's elegance, while others prefer a matte or velvety finish. Regardless of the direction, each adjustment requires expertise and calibrated pressure, because overworking the surface could weaken the fibers or distort the grain entirely. Finally, specialized coatings or protective layers are applied by hand to ensure long-term durability. These layers guard against moisture, UV exposure, and wear, which is crucial for maintaining the pristine appearance that luxury consumers expect. The finishing process ties together every previous step, giving the leather not only its polished appearance, but also the resilience needed for premium accessories. Before we move forward into the next phase of this transformation, tell me in the comments which part of this meticulous finishing stage surprised you the most, as your perspective helps reveal how much hidden craftsmanship shapes the materials we often take for granted. With the finishing work completed, the leather advances into one of the most demanding stages of the entire production chain: quality control. This phase is not simply a final check, but a comprehensive evaluation that determines whether each piece is worthy of entering the luxury market. Every skin undergoes a series of systematic inspections designed to measure durability, flexibility, surface integrity, and overall visual harmony. Technicians stretch the leather gently to assess fiber response, looking for signs of weakness or irregular tension. Any area that shows excessive give, stiffness, or micro-tearing is immediately isolated. Luxury clients expect perfection, and even a small inconsistency could compromise the final product's stability. Alongside physical assessment, the visual examination is equally rigorous. Under controlled lighting, inspectors analyze color uniformity, checking for subtle variations in saturation or tone that may have occurred during the dyeing or drying stages. Tilapia leather, with its naturally distinctive grain, requires especially careful assessment because the slightest irregular shadowing can appear intentional or flawed depending on the design requirements. Panels that exhibit uneven absorption, inconsistent gloss, or unpredictable surface behavior are sorted out for re-evaluation or repurposing. Nothing moves forward unless every piece meets the strict standards established for premium production. Another crucial component of quality control involves texture verification. The leather must maintain a balanced feel, combining the natural firmness of the fish grain with the engineered softness introduced during conditioning and mechanical processing. Technicians run their hands across each section, searching for unexpected roughness, friction points, or overly smooth patches that might indicate incomplete finishing or uneven fiber development. These tactile evaluations are essential because the consumer's first physical interaction with the material often determines their perception of value and craftsmanship. Finally, environmental resistance tests are conducted on a sampling basis. Sections of leather are exposed to controlled humidity, abrasion cycles, and temperature fluctuations to ensure the material retains color, structure, and finish under real-world conditions. These tests simulate years of use in a matter of hours, revealing how well the leather will perform once transformed into luxury goods. Only after passing all these evaluations can a piece be classified as high-value tilapia leather, ready to take its place among premium materials crafted into wallets, footwear, handbags, or detailed accessories that showcase both industrial innovation and refined artistry. Once the leather passes quality control, it transitions from the industrial environment into the commercial world, where its value is finally recognized. At this stage, each piece is cataloged, graded, and organized according to thickness, texture, color, and intended application. Luxury manufacturers depend on this precise classification, as even small variations influence design decisions and production methods. Tilapia leather's natural grain pattern offers unique visual possibilities, making it particularly appealing for high-end accessories that seek distinction without relying on traditional exotic skins. The market appreciates its balance of sustainability, durability, and aesthetic originality, qualities that allow it to stand out in a competitive, premium materials landscape. Distributors and design houses receive detailed technical sheets for each batch, outlining performance metrics obtained during testing. These specifications guide designers as they plan which sections to use for structured items, flexible components, or accent details. For instance, the slightly firmer areas may become watch straps or small leather goods, while softer, more pliable panels are ideal for intricate stitching found in wallets or handbags. This strategic alignment of material properties with product function demonstrates how the value of tilapia leather extends beyond appearance, influencing craftsmanship at every level. In the hands of designers, the leather undergoes its second transformation, this time from a refined material into a functional and artistic element. Many luxury brands highlight its distinctive grain as a signature feature, embracing the irregular, scale-based pattern that sets it apart from cowhide or goat leather. Others prefer to integrate it subtly, using sections where the pattern is more discreet to complement larger pieces. Regardless of the approach, the presence of tilapia leather introduces an element of storytelling. Consumers are increasingly drawn to materials with clear origins and innovative production processes, and this leather offers both. As manufacturers incorporate tilapia leather into their collections, it moves across global markets, reaching boutiques, artisanal workshops, and high-end retailers. Its journey from a simple fish skin to a premium material becomes part of its appeal, merging industrial engineering with craftsmanship and design. And while its final form varies, from wallets to footwear, from handbags to decorative elements, each piece carries the silent imprint of an extensive transformation that few consumers ever witness, yet all benefit from through the quality and uniqueness it delivers. By the time tilapia leather reaches the hands of artisans and luxury designers, it carries within it an entire chain of innovation, engineering, and human expertise. Its journey from a delicate organic skin to a refined material represents a collaboration between biology and technology, where every stage contributes to reshaping something overlooked into something exceptional. The final products crafted from this leather often surprise consumers who expect luxury goods to rely on traditional materials. Instead, they discover a material that defies expectations, offering character, strength, and a distinct identity born from a process few ever stop to imagine. This transformation reflects not only industrial capability, but also a shifting perspective within the luxury world, where unique textures and sustainable origins increasingly shape the definition of premium quality. As designers cut, stitch, mold, and assemble each piece, the inherent qualities introduced during the leather's preparation become visible in the final object. The durability, engineered during tanning, the softness created through mechanical refinement, the color depth developed through careful pigmentation, and the polished finish applied by artisans all merge into a cohesive expression of craftsmanship. These finished products demonstrate how a material once considered a byproduct can take on cultural and economic significance, becoming part of collections that celebrate originality and technical mastery. Every wallet, shoe, belt, or accessory becomes a quiet testimony to the long and complex transformation taking place behind the factory walls. Reaching this point reveals just how intricate the path to luxury truly is, and how often extraordinary results come from processes hidden far from public view. And if you stayed with this story until now, it means the industrial transformation behind everyday objects resonates with you as deeply as it does with those who create them. If you are here at the end, leave a comment saying, "This process changed how I see materials," because your perspective adds depth to this journey. If the value of understanding these hidden steps speaks to you, Consider subscribing to the channel so you can keep exploring how raw materials evolve into high-value products. A like also helps strengthen this space where curiosity and industry meet. And if you want to continue this exploration, there is another video waiting for you that expands this world even further. So click and follow the next transformation, unfolding just ahead.